boy growing up in the east side of Cleveland ever imagine this?
No. You know what? I couldn't imagine it because, for the most part, you don't know this world exists, right? And so you're just trying to conquer the world that is in front of you. It wasn't until my later years that I started, having a better understanding that this can't be all, right? And so, no, I could never imagine this. In my mind, I thought I was going to be an NBA player or NFL player. Those were my dreams.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'8" and a half. I say 5'9", let's just say 5'9" for TV.
5'8.5", be clear. Yeah. 5'9". Welcome back to CBS Mornings. That's Rich Paul, who's been called one of the most influential sports agents in the NBA. Speaking to Bill Whitaker in an exclusive clip, that one didn't air on 60 Minutes last night. Paul, you should know, is the CEO of the Klutch Sports Group and has negotiated more than $4 billion with a B dollars in deals for his clients, including LeBron James, Anthony Davis, A'ja Wilson, just to name a couple, and many more. Paul credits his success to an upbringing that involved gambling, drugs, and hustling. In his new book, it's called Lucky Me, a memoir of changing the odds. He writes about these experiences and the lessons he's learned, and boy, has he learned a lot of lessons. Rich Paul joins us now. Welcome. We are so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Rich Paul, number one, I wanted to see what you were going to wear today, because in the book you said being fly was something you discovered early on was a leadership skill.
Yeah.
Number two, I just think, Rich Paul, you were on 60 Minutes last night.
I know.
Wow, wow, wow.
Blessed.
Yes, what that must mean to you.
I got really emotional last night in front of my friends. It means a lot. My grandmothers they did hit the roof.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Number one, we were all talking about your book. Your book is so well done. I learned a lot in your book. For instance, Nate, I always thought that dice was just a roll of the dice, but there's a skill to dice.
No
that's
doubt.
a whole
I didn't
other
know
story.
that either.
Yeah, I learned a lot. But
Sort of like Steph's jump shot. I feel like that's how.
Good form.
Back
you gotta
then,
have good form.
for sure.
You say in your book, your superpower is understanding what people need. You never got a chance to be a kid, and hard truths make us stronger. What is your hard truth as you sit here today?
I mean, it's the book is my hard truth. All those experiences. When you read the book, you get hard truth at the hard truth at the hard truth. And, talking about, like you said, the streets, talking about things that we felt we had to do, not glorifying it at all.
No.
But as an entrepreneur, as a young black man in my community, there was no real options for us from an entrepreneurial perspective. There was nobody asking to help you with a business plan. There was no real outlets.
Yeah.
And so you turned to what you thought was the right thing at that point. And a lot of times you did it knowing that it was actually the wrong thing, but you tried to find some right within the wrong doing.
This is what's so interesting, though. People hear about a story like yours, and they expect the hustling, the addiction, the gambling, that you succeeded despite all that. But you say you succeeded and became who you are because of all that. Talk to me about that.
And the lessons you took from that.
Yeah, it shapes you, right? Everything we did that you thought was a detriment to you, today, it puts me so far ahead of the competition or the competition to be, because they don't have those experiences. They don't know what it's like to be without, pretty much. They don't know what it's like to have to persevere despite. So every day I'm being, talked about. I'm being, things are being fabricated. You've seen anonymous articles where people come out and anonymously talk in a negative light towards me.
About you.
Right.
But they don't realize that was my life every day. When you walked outside your door, everything in that environment was negative. So those things were shaping. I didn't know it. God knew it. He was shaping me for what was in front of me today, to come. Yeah.
This book, I believe, is for all readers. And
all
certain
readers,
chapters that speak to you differently. I love the value of being humble. In it, you write, my teammates were stars on the court, but I never felt envious. I was a star in a different sky. And then you went on to say, heard at the time, there is so much value for me in loving basketball and eventually being humbled by it. I love that, because most people fall in love with a craft, they get hurt by it, they leave it alone.
Yeah.
You stayed close to this game, and look where you are now. Is that a big lesson that you want people to take away from
It's a huge lesson, especially for kids today. I just knew I was going to be an NBA player until my dad
But you
told
said
me,
you're 5'8.5".
Despite the height and the small hands.
Yeah.
But you don't know
Spud
that,
Webb
right?
was a guy. He was playing in the NBA.
But
when
my
we were
dad
kids.
told me, you're not, right? But it didn't discourage me from not being a part of team because I didn't make it about me. I played on the second team, right, where we had to make the starters better in practice. And through that, I learned what it was like to be a great teammate.
But there's still people today, Rich, that don't think you belong in the rooms that you're in, that don't think you belong at the table.
Well, they don't think it. I'm not sure if they don't think it now.
Yeah, they forget.
They don't want it. Right? This
There's
is,
a
by the way,
difference.
this is very cringing.
There was a shift.
Yeah, they don't
this
want
is
it,
very different.
but they can't stop it at this point. Now it's about families, especially black families, not looking at it and saying, oh, I'm not gonna work with this person because I don't want this person benefiting from my son, et cetera. We have to break that now.
Number one,
it's been broken a little bit, but we still have a long way to go.
I think you left the book in such an interesting place. To me, it cries for a sequel. You know, listen, LeBron, everybody knows you and LeBron are very tight. LeBron might have opened the door for you and gave you an opportunity, but you took it and ran with it. And I don't think it should be minimized. But there's also a part where I'd like to know more of your journey, how you became what you became. And I also want to know about Adele.
Yes, please.
Only because Adele has said in the audience, my husband is here, I'm a wife. Would you just like to clarify? Would you like to share with the class? What would you like us to know?
You know, Gayle, I don't really talk about my personal life publicly, but if I'm going to give anybody some tea, it's going to be...
Okay, Gayle, with the tea.
All right.
Speaking to the microphone.
Let me say this. We are, she's been great.
Yes, of course.
I think she would agree that we've definitely helped each other.
Yes.
You know, I'm in a good space. You know, we're in a good space, happy. She's superb.
Rich, she says wife and husband, and you say she's been great. I just want to give you one more chance here.
No,
as a husband
I'll
myself,
say,
Yes.
you
I
might
didn't
want to
say
say
she's been great for me. Yeah, we've been great for each other.
You've been great for each other,
Yes.
though.
That's what I said. We've been great for each other.
You don't use those terms,
And again, I understand how, I'm starting to understand how people go, oh, he said this, he said that.
Right.
I'm just not the type of person to put my personal life, it's not for the media. It's not for paparazzi.
It's for y'all.
It's for us.
So when I
Things you're not
see
saying
her,
now-
when I see her, should I say, hi, Mrs. Paul?
You can say whatever you want.
all right. I hear you. There's a lot going on that you're not. Yeah. Okay.
Rich,
All right.
Rich.
Let me say this. You grew
not
up
worried for you.
Yes.
idolizing
worried.
hustlers because you didn't have businessmen to look up to. Thank you for being that.
Yes.
For young
Thank
people,
you.
especially
And hustler,
young people
just
of
so we
color.
know, it's not a negative.
Oh,
Don't
not
get
at
it-
all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Mark Zuckerberg's hustling every
That's a
day.
fact.
Every
Yes.
day.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but now young kids can look at you and identify
Yes, they
with
can,
what
and that's
you've
what it's
done.
for. You
Yeah.
know?
Thank you.
You don't have to. Your start doesn't have to determine your
Yeah.
finish.
You can appreciate
Rich?
everything that happens to you, as you put it. That's
Yes,
a
you
great
can.
way to put it.
Yes.
The book is called Lucky Me. There's a Jay-Z song called Lucky Me, but I always say luck is preparation meeting opportunity, and you were certainly prepared.
Yeah.
Thank
right.
you.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Here's to soaring book sales for Mr. Rich Paul.
You're gonna be all right.
All right. Now, Gayle, go sip your tea.